Hello, it's State Representative Keith Gillespie of the 47th District in York County, coming to you today from the Pennsylvania State Farm Show with the Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary Greig. Secretary Greig, thanks for the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you here at the 97th show.
97th Pennsylvania Farm Show.
And each year I know you have a theme relevant to the new year. And what would be the theme for the 97th Farm Show?
Well, this year our theme is Made in PA, It Makes a Difference. And our butter sculpture portrays that. We have PA Preferred, which made into a permanent branding program for Pennsylvania products, which you helped to get done. We want to thank the legislature and the governor for doing that. It's been a great tool for Pennsylvania farmers, for the fruit and vegetable people. The buy local, has really kicked in, and people really have been interested in buying from their local farmers.
Right, and we certainly will talk about the buy fresh, buy local, because I know that is it's a recurring theme and just a great thing for our local small farmers and the rest of the Commonwealth. So you mentioned the butter sculpture in particular. I know that's close by here, but what is on display there that with the creativity for this year?
Well, Jim Victor is the sculptor, and he's just done a fantastic job again this year. It's a portrayal of all of the products of Pennsylvania. Everything from maple syrup, there's a maple tree in there with a bucket hanging on it, to Christmas trees, to butter, milk, cheese, and it's just all Pennsylvania products.
A little bit of everything from our great Commonwealth. I know we talked a little bit earlier. You said so far the turnout has been great, and we're certainly not having our typical farm show weather. How are we looking attendance-wise this year?
We are doing fantastic. Last year we broke all attendance records. This year, on the first day, we parked 140 more cars than we did last year's first day. And as of Sunday, we were running 1,000 ahead of last year's attendance. And so I know Monday was down a little bit. Tuesday was really good. So if we have good weather the rest of the week, we should break attendance records again.
It's always great to come here, and I always enjoy looking around at the crowds, the smiles on their face, and the little ones with their eyes wide open, and certainly taking in all the smells and the sights and the tastes. We have the great food court here, and a lot of other things to offer the families.
There's a lot of agriculture here. We have 6,000 head of livestock here, 10,000 competitive exhibits, and any kind of food that you could ask for right here at the farm show. There'll be almost 500,000. We may go over 500,000 visitors in the 8 days that we're open, from January 8th to the 15th. So
that's terrific. And I understand you started the morning in Hershey, where we're actually having the National Beekeepers Convention there. So again, more people coming in to experience the agriculture experience in Pennsylvania.
That's great, and this is the first American Beekeepers Federation convention that's been held in Pennsylvania, and they already had record attendance for that. So it's just a nod that agriculture is alive and well in Pennsylvania, and we're one of the top ag producing states in the United States.
Okay, well, we've talked a little bit about buy fresh, buy local. We've talked about the farm show here in Harrisburg in Pennsylvania, but I also understand that Pennsylvania has recently won an international award. Can you talk a little bit about that, Secretary Greig?
Yes, I can. That's today's agriculture exhibit. It's over in the Wise Exposition Hall, just on the other side of the food court. And that exhibit portrays modern day agriculture. We have the same size cages that are in a modern day chicken farm, and you can see the eggs, how they, how they're collected. And we also have a sow with some baby pigs over there and some little chicks, and we have some cattle in free stalls. So it's a great exhibit to see, and it's an educational tool for the 500,000 people that come through here. A lot of them are 4 and 5 generations off of the farm. And we need to continually be telling the story of agriculture, showing people how we treat our animals and how we treat our soil and our water, And we depend on our animals and our soil and our water for a living, and we treat them very well. And it's a good place for us to tell that story, and it's a good place for people to see exactly where their food comes from.
Yeah, that's extremely important. I mean, let's face it, a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't know where their food comes from. They'll go to the local grocery store and they think it's made in the back room, and it comes out in this nice cellophane wrapped package, and they don't realize really what the nuts and bolts are and where it comes from. So an exhibit like that, I congratulate you on your initial award, and certainly it's a one-stop shop that you can go through and see everything from chickens to pigs to a dairy operation in one stop. I also understand that this year you have a butterfly room where you can actually go in and it's interactive. They'll land on you and maybe catch a ride out the door if you get past the security.
Yes, we do. It's a great event, and they even have another room where they check you for hitchhikers so that you don't carry any back out here. But it's great to know, because butterflies and bees are two of the major insects that do our pollination, and 80% of our crops need pollination from insects. 30% of all that we eat is dependent on pollination by our bees. So it's a very important part of agriculture.
That is a very important part. Again, I guess to talk a little bit about the diversity of your job and of the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, we talk about and it really hit home here down in South Central Pennsylvania with the chronic wasting disease that was recently discovered in a pen-raised white-tailed deer. And could maybe talk a little bit about what your role is to protecting the Commonwealth in regards to this issue?
We have over 1,100 deer farms in Pennsylvania. We are the second largest state in the nation. Texas is the only one that has more deer farms in Pennsylvania. We have 23,000 head of captive cervid, captive deer in Pennsylvania. And on October 6th, we discovered, of course, we are checking them constantly, and if anything happens to a deer on a deer farm, deer farms are under PDA's authorities. Yeah. And on October 6th, we found a deer died. We tested it. It was positive for CWD. Since then, we found one other one on that same farm. We have quarantined a lot of, I think it was up to 29 quarantine farms, but those farms have worked off quarantine. So we have it under control. We have continued to work with the Game Commission, Department of Health, Department of Environmental Protection, USDA Wildlife Services, to make sure that we have controlled this disease and kept it in.
Do we know at this point? I know the Game Commission did a very aggressive field testing of deer during the rifle season.
Yeah.
Do we know at this point if any of those samples, and I think it was like over 3,000 that they took, came back with any kind of positive results?
We have not gotten a positive test from the wild population. They actually have done 38,000 tests on wild deer, so it is not in the wild population, and it shouldn't be a concern. We're not the only state. Pennsylvania was the 23rd state to have chronic wasting disease. We knew that it was going to be when, not if, we were going to get it. So we had a chronic wasting disease response team set up. We had a action plan set up, and we implemented it the day after that we found our first positive. So,
okay, well, that's very favorable news. And again, going a little bit further in depth with your diversification with the Department of Agriculture, you're also responsible for dog law enforcement.
Yes, we are, and we have one section of our booth here where that's one of our dog wardens. We have all 67 counties in Pennsylvania. We have dog wardens covering those counties. We oversee the commercial kennels. We inspect the commercial kennels. We enforce the dangerous dog law, and we oversee the dog licenses every year. Although the the counties, each county implements the dog licensing. We oversee and coordinate all the counties in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Secretary, I want to thank you for your time. I know this is a busy time of the year for you, and you have a lot of other places to go, but I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with us here and the folks back in the 47th District. Thank you.